I have been in a bit of a rut. I've been feeling pretty underconfident about my art and what I'm making, and it's not the most fun place to be. So I kind of want to try a few creative challenges to try and basically break me out of that. Hi, Omi. So the first challenge that I've picked is a 30-minute art challenge, which is basically to just set a timer for 30 minutes and try and create a piece of art. And then the second one is to just use a limited palette, so I'm going to set myself 3 colours and create a piece of art around that. And the last thing I'm going to do is just take a walk somewhere and then kind of just come back and maybe do some studies of that, maybe paint some, draw some. But yeah, I just think it's important to do these little things to try and move yourself out of a creative pit, because it happens a lot. I think it happens to everyone. Like, art block is such a big thing amongst creatives. So I'm gonna see how it goes, and yeah, I hope you're gonna enjoy it. So the first thing I'm gonna do is the 30-minute art challenge. There's actually these little guys that I've been drawing quite a lot in my sketchbook, and I haven't brought them to life yet, and I really like them, so I'm gonna maybe do something along those lines. Okay, let's go. So this is how it came out. I quite like it. I don't think it's the worst thing that I've ever done. It was interesting seeing how I had to kind of rely on cruxes that I didn't know I had. So this way of working of using the pencil, then using the ink bleed for lining, colouring with flat colours, and then changing the line art is a kind of tried and tested rendering thing that I've built over the past few years. So it was cool seeing that that's obviously my most comfortable way of working. And it was also interesting how quickly I had to think of colour choices. I just kind of was like, okay, I'm going to give them all one colour and then make their accent colours the opposite colour. It was really cool, and I would definitely do this again. I think it's a great thing to do for just like not holding yourself like to too high a standard or hoping that you're going to do the best thing ever. It's just quite a fun activity, and half an hour I think is like the perfect amount of time to like take away time for you to make decisions, but also enough time to do something that you can be relatively happy with. So yeah, on to the next one. So I'm actually using a website called Coolers. which is really fun. You can like set how many colours you want, then you just hit the space bar and it just throws you loads of different colours. So this is the one that I landed on. You can also do this thing where you can see how it looks on branding and you can change the colours, and it's just a really cool website. If you're looking for some colours, then here's your thing. Not sponsored, not that it would have been sponsored. I've been trying to start something for this limited colour challenge for too long now, so I think I'm gonna set myself another timer to force myself into doing something. I'm gonna do an hour. Maybe this is my new thing. I woke up this morning after trying to do this limited palette illustration yesterday, feeling somehow less inspired, so it was a little bit tough. This is how it came out. I don't mind it. I think the idea is really there. I basically, when I was in bed last night, like had like a flash of what I wanted the illustration to look like, and then like mid-sleep drew a little thing on my nose to try and remind myself of what I wanted to do, and I couldn't quite replicate it, which is a really frustrating thing to happen. But I feel proud of myself for still creating something, even though it felt like I was walking through cement. I like the limited colour palette, but I think it's its own skill knowing how to actually use these colours to still work. It's like quite a big challenge, but also really nice to like not be able to use that many other colours. I did do it in an hour. The hour definitely like just forced me to get something out, and I'm happy that I have. So that's the proven method so far, is just like set yourself a time limit and then you're racing a clock, which is good when you are feeling unsure about what to do. It's not my favourite, but I'm proud that I did it, so that's something. I'm gonna maybe go on a walk today, and then I think I want to do like some gouache painting. I used to always call it gouache, and everyone says gouache. I feel like gouache sounds better. Art block still hitting. We move. So that was a nice little walk. it was really interesting. I've actually been to that place probably over like 10 billion times. Genuinely though, I've been there so many times, but it was interesting going and trying to notice things that maybe I haven't ever taken the time to look at, like that eye that is literally on the tree. That was a real eyeball, I'm certain of it. You know, in like Game of Thrones when they have those like little creepy bleeding faces, I think that's one of those trees. But the thing that I found most beautiful that I haven't really ever spent time paying much attention to was that big oak tree on the field. The way its trunk looked from underneath was just like absolutely beautiful, and I'm gonna try and do a little gouache painting of that. I suck at gouache, so yeah, we'll see how it goes. It'll be nice to not be on my iPad though, so let's go.
Primeira vez que eu te vi, menina, meu coração pulou pra boca. Da primeira vez que eu te vi, menina, meu coração pulou pra boca. Corpo assim não se vê nem na revista, nem no TikTok ou no Instagram de artista. Corpo de mestiça, de tanta coisa boa. Te quero dar beijo na garoa. Da primeira vez que eu te vi, menina, meu coração pulou pra boca. Da primeira vez que eu te vi, menina, meu coração pulou pra boca. Corpão assim não se vê nem na revista, nem no TikTok ou no Instagram de artista. Corpo de mestiça, com olhos de leoa. Te quero dar beijo na garoa. Da primeira vez que eu te vi, menina, meu coração pulou pra boca. Da primeira vez que eu te vi, menina, meu coração pulou pra boca. Corpão assim não se vê nem na revista, nem no TikTok ou no Instagram de artista. Corpo de mestiça, de tanta coisa boa. Te quero dar beijo na garoa. Te quero dar beijo na garoa. Te quero dar beijo na garoa.
And this is how it came out. I'm really happy with it. It's just such a relaxing thing to do, to be painting traditionally as well, as all I do all the time is sit on my iPad. I literally sit here with like 2 monitors in front of me, my phone, my iPad. It's like constant screens, so it's really nice to just take a step away from that for a bit and paint more traditionally. I think with art block, the best thing to do is to just keep doing stuff. And like a lot of the stuff that you make will probably not be the best, but just being able to prove to yourself that even in those moments of like complete and utter uninspiration, if that's a word, that you can still do it is the only way to combat art block. If you sit and do nothing and don't create anything new, all that happens is it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, and it's like you don't feel inspired, you're not making anything new, you're not feeling inspired, you're not making anything new. Whereas I've done these 3 challenges, some of them didn't go that well, but now I know that maybe when I'm feeling like this, it's a good time to go to a different media, or it's a good time to set a time limit and just like try and create these kind of coping mechanisms for the times in your life where you aren't feeling up for doing it, because creativity is not linear, it's not always there, it's not always flourishing, but it's knowing how to try and harness it in any way possible. And I do really feel like these 3 challenges have helped me find more tools to deal with it. I feel a lot better than I did, and I feel like I have a lot of ways of dealing with it now. I would recommend any of these challenges to you guys if any of you are going through the same thing, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you aren't going through art block, but if you are, you will get through it, because everyone always does. And yeah, I hope you guys have a lovely day, and I'm wishing you all well. Bye.